The formal structure of a decree. If you're looking at St. Germain's and Vital Flame, for example, in your book, you'll see there's a paragraph that begins in the name of the beloved, mighty, victorious presence of God. That paragraph is the preamble. Then there are the rhyming paragraphs, and you see the refrain is the one that alternates in between the verses. And that is called the body of the decree. And then at the bottom, you see the paragraph, and in full faith, I consciously accept this, manifest, manifest, manifest. That's the sealing, the closing, the anchoring of the energies. Now, that is the formal structure of a decree, and we often give the decrees without the preamble, and some of them don't have preambles. You can add preambles. And it's all a matter of how much time you've got and what is the work that you're doing. You can give one preamble and then 10 different decrees and then one closing paragraph. The purpose of the preamble is to set up the authority to command the flow of light. So we can compare that to the Lord's Prayer. And we talked about that in the Science of the Spoken Word. When Jesus taught the apostle to pray, he said, pray in this manner, in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. And we talked about why Jesus said that. Is because the authority rests with the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. The human self has no authority to command the flow of light. And the Lord's Prayer was designed as a decree, not as a prayer. And the decree is spoken by the king, and it becomes the law. And so the King of Kings, which is the Holy Christ self in the I Am Presence, is the speaker of the word, and it becomes law in the physical plane. So he always gave the Lord's Prayer in the name of the Father and of the Son and the Holy Spirit. And so in the Signs of the Spoken Word, when we're looking at the Vital Flame decrees, the preamble sets up the authority to command the flow of light. So we're praying in the name of the beloved, mighty, victorious presence of God, I am in me, and my very own beloved Holy Christ self. Now, if we look at that particular decree, St. Germain's and Vital Flame, you're going to see Holy Christ selves of all mankind. So we are now calling billions of souls to their Holy Christ self to join us in the giving of this decree. So this is amplifying the power of the decree. Then we say, beloved Ascended Master St. Germain, beloved of Mary, Mahat Chohan, Archangel Zadkiel, the entire spirit of the Great White Brotherhood, we are calling forth the momentum, the God victorious momentum of all these ascended beings who exist at the level of the I Am Presence, who have the authority to command the flow of light. So this is amplifying and multiplying the impact of the word flowing through us. And so all these decrees are designed very scientifically, and the preambles are extraordinarily powerful. We talk about being specific in the use of the Science of the Spoken Word, and the more specifically you decree, the more accurately and effectively the light can perform its work. And so in the second paragraph of the preamble, I invoke the mighty presence and power of your full gathered momentum of service to the light of God that never fails, and I command that it be directed throughout my entire conscious being and world through my affairs, the activities of the Summit Lighthouse, all cinematic activities world without end. We are now directing the flow of light. We are setting up the authority to command that flow, and we are directing where that light is going to flow. And then we actually give the decree, which is the pouring forth of the light into where we just directed it. So technically, the second paragraph would be called a call. A call is something that's inserted after a preamble. And so in terms of structure, we often say that the call is like the chalice into which the light is poured. And then the actual body of the decree is the pouring forth of the light. And then the closing paragraph is the sealing, the anchoring in the physical plane of that energy. So there's a very powerful science behind how a decree is structured, how the words are created. And that is the formal structure of a complete decree. It involves a preamble, the body of the decree, and the sealing, the closing paragraph.